Hi, I'm Luisa.
And Michael.
And we are Retired Life Mexico. Thanks for being here. We're so excited you're back. And today we're going to talk about how you too can retire in Mexico. We've got a special one coming up for you, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Luisa.
And Michael.
I'm Gina.
And I'm Mark.
And we found ourselves together in the city of Oaxaca here in Mexico. So we said, let's get together and do a little collab and see what we can find out about each other since we've never met.
Yeah, and we, being YouTubers, we love meeting other people, but especially other YouTubers. So.
2021, for my 60th birthday, Gina decided that we were going to come down to Mexico for 2 weeks. And we did Tulum, Playa del Carmen, and Cozumel. And we did a tour of Chichen Itza, Valladolid, and then one of the cenotes.
And went to a really good restaurant.
Yes. The tour guide that was supposed to take us was unable to, so she sent this lovely Mexican gentleman named Miguel. We spent the entire day with Miguel, and we got to see the side of Mexico that you don't see on the resorts. We went to the Mercado in Valladolid because Miguel needed to get some beans for his wife. He was like,
yeah.
Is it okay if we stop? Absolutely. We wanted to experience as much as possible. It was a great eye-opening experience to see what Mexico was like in reality, not what you see in Playa del Carmen or the Riviera Maya.
How did we actually decide to do this in the first place was because I was watching YouTube videos. Things were very stressful in the United States. I hated my job. and I was looking for a way to escape, to be fair. So I'm watching all these videos. And then we had a block party. And he tells our Mexican neighbor,
who is from Monterrey,
we're going to retire in Mexico. Really? Okay. And that was it.
Where do we want to move to? That was the biggest question. We started deep diving. What's the infrastructure like? What's the crime rate like? What's the healthcare in this?
But you drove your car down.
We did.
The only way we're going to be able to temporary residence,
so you can keep your car.
So we can keep our car, take all of our stuff because we're going to be on the constant go.
That's part of the reason for the car. The other part of it is I'm not retired and I have to work.
Yes.
And I'm in IT. Between my art supplies and my computer stuff for work, half of the car is just my stuff. I have triple monitors and I've got all the peripherals. And you see some of this stuff here for
sure.
Lighting. And then my art supplies, I have lots of art supplies. When it came to being here, I have to be able to work.
And so how long have you been doing this traveling through Mexico?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Wow.
2 years.
Almost exactly 2 years right now.
And this is 13 right
This
here.
is the 13th city.
Wow. And do you have a favorite one so far?
Querétaro, San Luis Potosí, and dare I say, possibly Huatulco, but I also like Oaxaca. But we like the walkability of those cities.
Yes.
And
they have everything that we are looking for. And we have a strong base of friends in both locations.
Yeah. What about the cost of living in those cities that you like so far?
First year, we had a nice sampling of central Mexico versus Yucatan Peninsula. And what we discovered, almost shockingly, was that the rate of inflation in the Yucatan is the highest in the country. And the cost of living in the Yucatan was at least 50%, if not 100% higher than central Mexico. We easily paid double the Airbnb rates. It was, I would say, San Luis Potosí was our least expensive stay. Mm-hmm. That Airbnb ran us, I think, approximately $800 a month. Yeah, which was like the best Airbnb rate we've had.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought San Miguel de Allende was going to be really expensive. And at the time, it was our second stay, and it was more expensive. But no, compared to other places, San Miguel's actually very affordable. It's important to point out that we are doing strictly Airbnbs.
I was going to ask that question. Yeah. Why is that?
Because it's really difficult to get a lease for less than 6 months.
And we really don't have a choice because we have a car, We have a lot of stuff, so we need enough room to be able
That makes
to
sense.
live comfortably without having, everything piled in our bedroom with us, then having to walk around all the boxes and everything else. So when you start putting all these specific needs in there, it narrows the pool of available
Certainly
units
does.
down.
We've got the stuff. We need a garage to keep the car off the street.
Mm-hmm.
And the last big thing is we have to have at least, at minimum, a queen size bed.
So going back to your car has to be off the street. That kind of goes into feeling secure and safe in Mexico. Have you had any issues with being safe in Mexico?
I would say no, but we purposefully tried to keep our car off the street.
Right.
Right.
So the prevention is
Right.
important.
I mean, we have U.S. plates that could potentially make us a target.
Sure.
So we really just try to keep it off the street garage part.
We have U.S. plates and we have a roof bag when we're traveling. I mean,
Right.
that is when we actually feel most vulnerable, is going from our city now to the next city. And that drive it's harrowing to us, and because we're probably trying to pay too much attention to all of our surroundings and everything else because we want to remain safe.
Right.
Of course
But we're
you do.
knowing that that's also sort of going a beacon of people going, Gringos.
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 I was just discussing this the other day. There's only been 4 times that we have been really pulled over by police officers. One of them was just a standard road check. They asked us to get out of the car and they looked under the dash. So they're probably looking for drugs or something. And they let us go and it was fine.
And I can give you everybody a hint. If they ask you to get out of the car to do that, shake the officer's hand. And the reason I do that is it shows that I am not nervous. I have nothing to hide.
Right.
Give them a good handshake and go, by all means.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The second time we got pulled over was in Progreso. And we
Yep.
don't know why we got pulled over. We think it was a potential shakedown. We just left our Airbnb.
It was just before Christmas.
We literally got maybe 2 blocks, possibly 3 blocks from the house. We weren't up to speed yet. It's daylight. There was really no reason to stop us. No stop signs.
Yeah, sounds
And they
like
pulled
shakedown.
us. They pulled us over. When he acted like he didn't understand a thing that was being said, they let us go. But they had no reason to pull us over, so we just assumed that that's what it was. Then there was the time we were traveling through Tabasco to get to our next destination, and there was we took the road that Google said that we were taking.
Oh,
And
no.
Mistake number one.
I know. And it follows this river. Now, this is a 2-lane road, and we come around a corner, and there is a police blockade, and they're checking every car.
Yeah.
Except that he just comes and hangs out at our window.
Very nice.
Very pleasant, very casual conversation, asking about where we're going, where we're from.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he drops it that he needs some refrescos.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Meaning, can you give me some money so I can buy some
Yeah.
Yeah.
refrescos?
Now-
Oh no. He knew that word. Catch.
He
Oh.
wanted cash.
you want to get?
So Mark pulls out his wallet, and we hadn't yet put the dummy wallet up yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he sees how much money Mark has, and Mark tries to give him a smaller denomination. But no, he points to the 500,
The quinientos.
which really, just to get back on the road and just get going, we were like, whatever. But no, they strategically had that plan. They
Sure.
were in the shade,
Oh yeah.
on a corner.
They were there
yeah.
for the duration of the day.
And they were
like,
stopping everybody.
Wow.
And then the last time we got stopped was actually in Huatuco by a traffic police officer. And now I've been told that the only people who have the legal right to ask to see the tip for the car are the National Guard. This was a local traffic cop.
Uh-huh.
He wanted to see the tip. Well, I gave him the tip. Well, the tip is in my name. So this is very important because we didn't know this. If the tip is in a certain person's name, that certain person should be in the car and should have their identification. Well, no, I didn't have my ID. I'm riding. He's driving. So he wanted to write us a ticket because Mark's driver's license doesn't work if my name is on the tip.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So now Mark has my driver's license in his wallet because I don't carry a purse around hardly ever, even in the US. So I would say of those 4 incidences, there was really only one that was a shakedown. and a second that was a possible shakedown.
But then, aside from the car,
Mhm.
just in Mexico in general, you know how everybody in the States, when we tell them we live in Mexico, they're like, aren't you afraid?
Any city in the world, there are places you go and there's places you don't go. And that's just reality. And you pay attention to where you are, you pay attention to your surroundings. We don't drive at night. I mean, when we're driving between cities, if it is going to take us longer than 8 hours, we find some place in between. We hunker down for the night for lots of reasons. A, the safety. And I mean safety, not necessarily because of banditos or anything else. Livestock wanders out onto the road. You don't see the topes. I mean, there's all sorts of
Right.
bad things that occur after
No.
dark. And so
Yeah.
we use an auto motel because they've got the garage, pull the door down, they're affordable, and we're in for the night.
I mean,
Okay.
we hit a tope once at 45 miles per hour.
Oh,
I
that's
thought we
horrible.
broke the axle in
Yeah.
the car.
The other thing about driving in Mexico between destinations, sometimes gas stations are at a premium.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Going from Saltillo all the way down to Aguas Calientes, we went 3 hours before we hit a gas station.
Mm.
3 hours straight with no gas. So if you are driving in Mexico, rule number one, you do not let it get below a half a tank of gas. If it gets close to a half tank of gas, you see a gas station, and there are people at that gas station. That is the important part. Number
Right.
two, you don't pull into abandoned gas stations or ones that are very lonely. But there's people and there's people getting gas. You pull in, you top off, and back on the road.
You have great stories
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no.
and experiences.
We actually were walking underneath the mall in the parking deck. We're heading to the ATMs and we hear Gringos R Us. And we had been in the country 2 days.
It was a wonderful meetup today, and I'm excited to meet other people on the road who are creating YouTube videos and informing people about Mexico.
Yes, it was really fun talking with Gina and Mark today. And once again, I want to thank all of you for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hasta luego.
Ciao.